being as a kid and liking this stuff and then finding out about it and being pushed in more insights and that kind of thing. And I think around 15 or 16, I came to the conclusion that I can't do what it is I want to do down here. Like I can't be who I want to be and create what I want to create in Trinidad. And funny enough, the one thing that changed my outlook, which I guess is a little mental of mine, but I completely forgot, was Vox Magazine. In Vox Magazine, they had stories and illustrations by James Hackett. And after reading those stuff, I was kind of like, you could actually do stuff like that down here. That's kind of cool. And funny enough, that thing changed my entire mindset of, instead of going away and doing it, trying to figure out the way how I can do it down here. Every day I do what it is I do, I don't feel like I'm doing the job. I don't feel like I'm going to work. I don't feel like, even if I go to meetings and that kind of stuff, it's not about that. I'm going to talk about stuff that I love to do. I'm doing stuff that I love to do, you know, the late hours, the countless things I have to do. I mean, it's all stuff that I like to do. I think with any creative industry, you need to have a certain amount of confidence in yourself. Confidence is key. Confidence is how you sell yourself. Confidence is in what you do is key to doing anything. But sometimes confidence can be misconstrued to ego. Because the thing is, even you could be in the industry for 15 years, you don't know everything. And as animators now starting up and learning, you kind of have to be open to anything, and especially be open to criticism. Criticism is the only way people can grow. As a creative person, you have to be able to creatively control what it is you output and what it is you create. A lot of people within the industry would say, well, you know, I mean, Trinidad kind of revolves around this do me a favor and I'll give you a buy kind of mentality. And being a creative person and trying to be as professional as possible, you kind of have to break away from that and be like, okay, well, you have to weigh the pros and cons of each individual project. Because as we're growing in the industry, we have to weigh the pros and cons of, okay, if we do this, and let's say we don't get the monetary amount we want for it, what could we get out of it with regards to getting ourselves out there and being putting out a public face to it? Because as we're growing, we need to be able to make the industry aware of us and make people know that, hey, animation is a viable opportunity to get into. So it's kind of balancing between being creative and being business smart and having creative control of what it is you create. We decided to maybe not go around, but stay away from doing advertising. Going through the advertising companies, I should say, and trying to pitch directly to companies. If we have to pitch the advertising company, fine, that's no problem. But we're trying to say, well, we're trying to set our own path with regards to how we go about doing work. We're also currently working on pitching a TV series. We're working on that right now. We're waiting for funding from TTFC. Hopefully that'll come through. And the reason we're actually producing this series is not necessarily because to do a series right now with the manpower that we have would take some time. So we're actually creating this series to look for outsourcing opportunities. So the reason why is because if international, there's a lot of outsourcing work with regards to animation around the world. Once we're able to output something that is of a high enough quality, people internationally would see what it is we're capable of and see the quality of work that we can produce. And once they can see that, we will be able to get outsourcing opportunities. So who knows, I mean, Family Guy and Simpsons and that kind of stuff could be done right here in Trinidad. I mean, every day is kind of a problem with waking up and realizing where I am right now and where I could be in the next couple of years. Because right now, I'm actually helping out with the festival. I'm actually the Anime Crew Festival. I'm actually lucky enough to be part of the committee right now. And we're also starting up the TTAN, Trinidad Tobago Animators Network, which is a kind of NGO group that is going to pool together animated talents in Trinidad and kind of form a governmental organization, well, a non-governmental organization that could help do training workshops and also be able to tap into government funding with regards to into doing projects and that kind of thing. And I'm lucky enough to also be chairman of that group also. Even though animation around the world has been around for however long, probably as long as film, people still have the misconception that animation is cartoons and is geared towards a certain age group. I mean, yes, you will find that the largest sector of people would be kids. But I mean, look at most of the animated films today from Pixar and that kind of thing. Look at Up, look at Rio, that's just currently out right now. It's targeted towards kids, but it has a broader appeal, which is the family appeal. And I think people don't realize that animation is a multi-billion-dollar industry. In the States, it opens in cinemas. In Japan, it rivals the Japanese movie industry. And it's beginning to pick up in India, it's big in France. So it's only a matter of time before it becomes a big enough industry in the Caribbean. One thing I've always said is that animation right now is starting up in Trinidad, but it's also starting up in other islands. Barbados and Jamaica also have little animation stuff going on. And my hope at one point is to, as with Hollywood, as with the Japanese film industry, as with Nollywood and those in Africa, I think it's if we can pool the resources within the Caribbean, the animated resources in the Caribbean, and set together to actually work together on projects, we may be able to rival America and other places with regards to animation because of the sheer amount of manpower and storytelling we have within the Caribbean. Advertising within Trinidad's framework doesn't necessarily allow us to be that creative, but who knows? I mean, if we pitch enough events or pitch enough projects and somebody gives us the opportunity to actually create something, we may get the opportunity to actually change that. Because if you look at commercials in the States as opposed to Trinidad, commercials in the States, they hardly know what the product is. They sell you on a feeling, they sell you on an idea, they sell you on a concept. They don't sell you on this product that does X, Y, Z. They sell you on somebody's using their product in some weird zany form, and you remember it, it sticks, and you're like, hey, that would be kind of cool to do. With regards to advertising down here, we don't necessarily do that. We sell you on the product. We don't sell you on the feeling, the emotion you get by using the product. So hopefully, if we keep pushing at it, we could be able to come to that point. But our focus is really creating stories, and there's a lot of stories to tell, and the sad thing is that it isn't being passed on to the next generation. I mean, if you ask a kid about a vampire, a lot of kids know about it. If you ask a kid about Sukunia, what's that? And simple things like that aren't being passed on, and animation could be a great tool for passing on that information. Once kids can see that their stories are being told, Trinidad stories are being told, Caribbean stories are being told, and they can look at it and they can't tell the difference between looking at that stuff and looking at stuff from America and Cartoon Network and that kind of thing, and subtly changing their minds by doing that. Because I mean, kids will look at it. You can tell a kid this is Trinidad story, blah blah blah. They might be interested. But if you dress it up as how the Americans dress up their stuff and tell our content, kids are gonna eat that up.